Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
I wish I could stop time so my wife looked like she did 20 years ago. Now she's a disgusting pig. Man, I hate middle age.
Now you can stop time with Preservex. At funerals, they always say how wonderful the deceased look. The secret is formaldehyde. It preserves the skin. Preservex brings the wisdom of the funeral parlor to the beauty parlor. Most beauty products only work skin deep. Preservex works under the skin to replenish aging cells and freeze time once and for all. Preservex, stay beautiful for all of eternity.
Shut up and sit down.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Third Shift. This is episode 456, and I, of course, am your host, your funky leader, the greatest man who's ever lived. It's me. It's Matt. And with me, as always, it's the Lightbearer, Lightbearer bringing the Beastmaster. Third Shift, it's Eric, and he's here to tell us how his week was. Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy. How was your week this week?
Oh, gosh, golly. Well, let me tell you about it. I had family come and visit. I already told you they were coming. They did, in fact, come on up to Michigan, and we got to go do the Michigan Mile Run at the Jackson Field with the Lugnuts. So we went there, and we did a wonderful mile-long run around the entirety of that stadium and had such a good time. And I'm going to say something. It bugs me just a little bit. Not a bunch, but a little bit. The kids, they get the medals. You know, you get to wear the necklace, you get to put on the medal, you get the medal for the run. They don't give them to the adults. I pay the same amount. I pay the same amount to run that mile as the children pay to run that mile. So why don't you just give all paying participants the little stupid medal for running the mile?
You gotta at least run a 5K to get a medal as an adult. Come on, Eric.
Is that what it is?
You've done it. You've done it. Come on, you know that.
I don't think that's fair, though. I paid the same price. I should get my little medal. I should get a cool little Michigan Mile medal. I mean, yes, it's not as big or cool as a 5K or something bigger, but I did it. I ran a freaking mile around that loop.
Okay, so here's two things. One, don't pay. Just run with your children and have a good time.
You can do that, yes.
Or two, adults should get like a chintzy medal, like the little soccer medal you used to get back in the day. You should get like a little crappy bronze medal. That's all you should get as an adult.
And I'm sure that's exactly what's happened, is that you can technically go with your children to make sure they're safe. So there's no way to differentiate that. You would say that. However, that's not actually true because, Matt, the adults that just run with their kids to be safe, they don't have the little stupid numbered bibs.
Stuff, yeah.
I had a bib. I have a bib. It's on my belly. Boop, 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 the whole nine. So you know that I officially paid the freaking price you wanted to do the mile. So in that regard, I'm like, I should get it. I don't need it. I don't care. I don't want it. I'm just saying. You need to rethink it, Michigan Mile people.
Now, what I'm just saying is I think the medal you got this year was that nobody fell and broke their leg this year.
Yes, that is the
leaving
greatest
you
medal.
alone to do all the things. So that's just take that.
I'll take it. I'll take it. I ran with all the kids this year, and it was fun. They had a blast, and they all got medals. Then we went to a place. We went to Olympic Broil, Matt. We went to Olympic Broil afterward. We had some delicious fast food burgers that are open flame, just like Burger King, but done in a little local place. And we fed the ducks a bunch of food. Had a good time. Obviously, did all sorts of other stuff. Had a blast. Went to a cool milkshake shop. But with that being said, y'all don't care about all that. But it was a cool, very vibrant weekend. And with all that being done, I still played some video games. I got in on some Doom the Dark Ages, Matt. Tell you what, every time I do it, tons of fun. I am so in love with the way they did this game. I've already talked about it, but I will just say one more time. I love how when you go into a level, it's a secular, huge level, and you get to do whatever you want and tackle it however you want. And there's little points where the battles are going to happen, and there's secrets all over, and the map shows you everything. And you just go about your business, having a good time. And I really am enjoying that setup. It feels great. The only downside is, as I told Matt, I know now like how long on average a level is going to take. And since I don't trust the save system, I want to always complete a level before I, save and shut it off. Because I know at the end of a level, it's obviously going to be saved. Everything's good. No questions. But in the middle, I don't know when the checkpoints are happening. I'm sure there's a save symbols happening somewhere, but when you're in Doom and fighting tons of baddies and doing all sorts of crap, it's hard to notice sometimes what's going on. So I've fallen into this like, ooh, do I have a 25 to 30 minute chunk right now to do a level? No? Okay, well, won't play Doom then. Or even if it's close. We're like, hey, I should shut this off. Maybe I got enough time to do another level. Maybe I don't. Nah, let's be safe and shut it off. And then go watch shows. But right now, as I've said, there's not enough anime right now to watch. It's kind of sucks. It's kind of boring. But yeah, all in all, Doom, The Dark Ages, really cool. Still having fun with it. Chapter 17 or 18, I think, is where I'm at. And then on top of that, I played a little old game called Alone in the Dark. I did it. It came for free with the PlayStation Plus. So, as I said a long time ago, I really was interested in this game, but just wasn't having the time to do it. Didn't really want to pay full price for it because the reviews were all very middling on it. Well, we got it for free. Unfortunately, I'm not helping the studio any because they were shut down and everybody was laid off. So the studio is now obsolete and gone. And that really sucks. You know why? Because this game is pretty damn good. It's a fine game. It serves its purpose. It functions well. The graphics are great. Everything's fine. There's nothing wrong with this title at all. And that sucks. And it sucks to see that a fully functional game that's actually really good and keeping me entertained and having me coming back. I'm about 25% of the way through this game. I've got several hours plus into it already. You know, just wasn't enough. Didn't do the trick. Now they're all gone and it's over. And I'm like, and I feel like I'm to blame because I did not buy it. I was one of the people who also went, well, I mean, it looks decent. I'll wait though. I don't know. And I waited for it to come out free, but it was too late. Those poor bastards are all gone because I didn't support them and people like me didn't do it. And that sucks because it is a good game. I haven't finished it yet, but I am going to, and I'm having a good time with it. I love the fact that it's going from this house, this huge mansion where, you know, something of course is not quite right, to these really cool, like deep South Louisiana, like weird swamps. So like the whole twist here is like Silent Hill, you know, the fog comes in and then all of a sudden, and everything goes to dirt, rust and blood and everything dark. This one goes and it warps the house into this weird southern swamp thing. And all these mermen and merwomen and weird, just nasty folks come out and you're shooting and trying to get through everything. And then it switches back to the mansion. And then you're just puzzle solving and trying to work your way through it and everything. That's the whole gimmick of this game. And I feel like the loop is good. Everything's been fun so far. I haven't had any issues. Like I said, the graphics wise is great. The acting and whatnot, the walk around about, it's all good so far. It just stinks. Good game. Having a great time. Y'all got it for free. I'd recommend you play it and give it a shot. That's what I'm doing. Having a good time with it. And then, of course, man, Aladdin. You ask, what's Aladdin? I said, remember that game on the Super Nintendo and the Sega Genesis? Yep. So here's the deal. I'll try to be as quick as possible because we got lots to do. But I got to say it. I went to Dish Traders, a local little game store that we got. And I got a Sega Genesis hooked up to this old CRTV and it's all ready to rock and roll. And I said, you know what? I got to get some Sega games. What are some Sega games I played? And I went, oh, this is going to be a great bit. And it still might be a bit someday. Well, I'm going to get Chicon. We're going to get Chicon and I'm going to post it up on the third shift shit, and I'm going to piss Matt right off. I'm going to do the whole thing. It's going to be so much fun.
You're not going to find that.
They didn't have it, Matt.
Yeah, of course
they didn't have Chicon. He said, damn. He literally did. He goes, you're going deep, Chicon. Like, we had that game like 3 years ago. Only one copy we've ever had, and we sold it for $14. I'm like, damn. Wish I had that one copy for $14. I'd have bought it for $14. And he was like, oh, well, sorry, man. We haven't seen it in a long time, and so I don't know if we'll ever see it or not. But so Matt, he might have a point. Like it's maybe a niche game that not a lot of people played. But you know what? It's a very important game. Very important game for the Sega Genesis. And I will find it someday, man. I will find it.
Did I ever mention to you, I think I must have, that they did like a remake or a sequel or something on the Dreamcast? Did I ever actually say that to you?
No.
Because I'm pretty sure I saw that in maybe it was like a Game Sack episode or somebody else was talking about weird games. I feel like it was a remake.
That would be insane.
I'll look it up while you finish the rest of your weeks.
Oh my God, that would be insane if that happened. But anywho's, so I didn't get Chacon, but I saw an Aladdin sitting there for $4, just 4 smackaroos, and I played the out of some Aladdin on the Sega Genesis. So I bought that, and I came home, and I popped it in. And I was like, well, I'll just try it out, make sure it works, because obviously they got a 3-day turn-in policy, so if it, doesn't work, you got 3 days to turn it back in. It worked, and I got stuck. I played for a whole hour on this thing. Just playing Aladdin, all the wonderful music, doing Abu's special levels, finding the genie heads, getting my extra lives, etc., etc., etc. And it was just a blast. And I fully felt that great feeling. I'm not a huge guy on playing old games, or whatever. But this just felt right. And the fact that I set up this whole station to play nostalgic old games, it's feeling good. And now I'm feeling glad that I did it because I had such a great time with that hour. And I want to do some more of it for sure. Not all the time, obviously, but, here and there. I want to jump on that seat. I got a whole table set up, brand new desk, the whole nine, the chair, my old little cool chairs over there. So it's comfortable. It feels good. Can't wait to do it. But that Aladdin, I'm telling you, still holds up to this day, Matt. And on that CRTV with that cool sound coming through that crappy old little speaker, it feels right. And it brings me right on back to the days of Sega.
And I looked it up. It was going to be a sequel, but it got canceled. But there is a tech demo out there, so you could play some of it. I think some ROM somebody pulled off. But anyway, so it was going to be a sequel, but it's not officially out.
Okay, I was going to say because if I'd have missed that, I'd have felt like a completely fake gamer because I love Chacon, as everybody knows, and I'm for me to have not bought that if it was on the Dreamcast, and I bought the Dreamcast day one, you crazy? How the hell would that happen? It's impossible. Whew. Man, glad to hear that because I felt real bad about it.
But now you don't have a game to play, so you should feel bad, but good, but bad.
Yeah, bad but good, but bad. Exactly. And of course, last but not least, I did play some Mario Kart World. We're gonna have a little Nintendo, Switch 2 section here, so I won't say too much about it, but I'll say I really enjoyed it so far. And of course, with that, that's pretty much my week, Matt. What about you?
Been a week of nothing going on. I think WWE had 2 shows. I watched those. They're pretty good. Worlds Collide with all the AAA luchadors and Money in the Bank. Okay, I wasn't going to say anything about them, but I was looking at the card because Mom was like, tell me who's on this card. I'm like, okay. So I was looking up the card for Worlds Collide. There's WWE people and then luchadors too. And I'm flipping through, and the last name on the card is Mr. Iguana. And I went, that's an awesome luchador name. And he came out, and he was a guy just wearing green, pants and shirt. And he painted his face all black and green, and he had this little stuffed iguana hanging in his mouth, and he'd crawl out and be a weird looking dude. And then he had spots he did with the iguana in the match. It was great. It was comedy. It was fun. I was like, hey, there's my new favorite luchador. I mean, not that I know many, but there's my new favorite one. So that was a lot of fun. Didn't do anything else on the real world front other than, and it ties into video games, streaming some Xenogears. Probably the last stream of Xenogears before the final stream. I think, because we're finally there, the world has opened up again, and really one of the only things to do is go to the final boss. So I'm finally to the point where I was during that PS3 era playthrough. And man, there's so much stuff that I had completely forgotten about. Obviously, having only seen it once during that playthrough. I don't remember the wave thing. I don't remember any of this crazy stuff that's happening. But it is so cool because, I don't know Disc 2 that well. And it has this horrible reputation of Disc 1 is the good one, and then Disc 2, it's all just sitting around. You don't even get to do dungeons, just people talking at you with a story. But the story's so good. And the things are so cool. And all the things you see in the intro to that game all tie back in Disc 2. It all is coming full circle. It's so cool. It's so good. And to see it with, again, kind of sort of fresh eyes because I don't remember anything, it's great. It's awesome. I'm going to be sad when that game's over. But it's been a wild ride. It's been a lot of fun. And the other thing it's been a wild ride and a lot of fun is 100 Line Last Defense Academy. I told Eric I can't talk too much more about it on the show because I'm going to start spoiling things. Even when I try not to, I always say too much and then I feel bad, and sometimes I cut stuff out of the show. The only thing I'll say is what I've said to Eric, and I even said it to Howard just today. I reached a spot where there's now a chapter select, and there are a lot of branching paths off of that chapter select. And I have gone down, if I have 3 branches to start with, I've gone down one of those branches which is already split a bunch of times. And 2 of those parts are what I'm on now, and they're very long. So it's getting crazy, is all I'll say. It's getting nuts. I feel a little weird because as great as it is to have more 100 line, because I'm loving it. It's really cool. I'm on a very depressing path right now. So I'm kind of like, okay, well, I want to get to the end of this one, and then I'll check out the other branches. But it just keeps going, and more stuff keeps happening. I'm going, oh man. I hope there's another branch that's. Don't stop talking, stop talking. But I'm enjoying it. Getting more of that game than I expected to get is very cool. I won't say what form it takes or anything other than that. All the things that I like in the game, I get to do more of now. And I've gotten to the point where this isn't a spoiler because they talked about it before the game came out. There's like 100 endings in this game. I'm starting to see some of those 100 endings. That's all I'll say. That's it. I can't say anymore because I've already almost spoiled like 19 things. That game's great, and I'm enjoying it, and that's it. That was my week. That's all I've been doing.
So that's Matt's week, and you know what? Before I move on to my video game release, I gotta state something. It hurt my heart and it hurt my soul, man. I was listening to a podcast today. Some gentlemen I respect, some ones that I actually don't get aggravated and mad by all the time, in fact. But you know what they did? They're like, oh, we're going to have another Claire Obscure Expedition 33, big old spoiler reveal kind of review kind of thing, second one. And then they're like, they start talking. And then they go, yeah. Like, times vary on when people complete games, you know what I mean? And that's the only medium that has this like weird thing where like it could take somebody 24 hours and somebody 100 hours, whereas movies, it's only this, books only this, blah, 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 blah. And I'm with them. I'm with them the whole way. I'm like, yeah, it's true. And then they said, and one of them goes, hey, I mean, like, for example, like, how long did it take you to beat Claire Obscure? And he went, oh, like 20, I think I got 23 hours on my thing. And he goes, oh, I got like 29. Ha, what a difference, See, that's exactly what we're talking about. And then he goes, I got a friend. I mean, this is insane. You're gonna be blabberhoused by this. It took him like 49 hours to beat. And I went, I have 80 hours in this game.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't even play the game. You didn't play the game.
Yeah.
You have no idea what half of the combos even are. Half of anything. Because I'm level 78 and at 80 hours and you're level God knows what at 23 hours. You don't even know what these characters are capable of. And you're about to have a big spoiler review on this thing. Like, something about this game. And at 23, you didn't beat the bosses I've beaten. You haven't beaten the things that I've faced and the things that I've beaten. So you don't even know what half these baddies and bosses are about. God, what is wrong with the world? What is wrong with the world today? Oh,
I'm looking it up. Hang on. I'm looking it up. How long to beat Claire
God
Obscure? 27 and a half hours. That's only main story though. It says main story. Completion is 62 hours. While you were talking, I was thinking of 100 line because I was going to say I've put in a feel in my brain because I've played it nonstop, like Sunday night, Monday night, and Wednesday night, nonstop. So I feel like I've put in as much time now after the chapter select was opened than I did the whole rest of the way. So that was my tie-in to that. And that says 32 hours for main story, 63 for I'm telling you. 63 for main plus extra. Completionist 165.
Woo!
So that's gonna be me. That's my life. Okay, goodbye Death Stranding 2. Might as well just cancel that pre-order. It's woo. Okay.
Well, keep on trucking.
Well, that elaborates my point there. So, sheesh.
Yes, it further proves your point, and also just allows me to rant and rave about people. Y'all gotta quit. Y'all gotta slow down and enjoy a game for what it really is.
Yeah.
Because once again, with 23, 27 hours, whatever the hell it was, you don't even know half of the things you can do in this game. You can't. You literally can't know because you didn't get enough luminaires and whatnot stacked up to put builds together that would allow you to go face some of the extra bosses and stuff that are in this game. So, it's neither here nor there, Matt. It's neither here nor there, but I had to say it. It's driving me nuts. My game this week is a game that has been around forever and I knew nothing about. Okay? Because I haven't played it. It's Five Nights at Freddy's Secret of the Mimic. And I went, well, there's literally nothing happening this week. This week's kind of a slow week. I don't know what the hell I'm going to talk about. This is the best thing I could find. I went, okay, well, guess we'll do this. I enjoy a scary game. Matt knows that. He loves to make fun of me whenever I make fun of indies, and we go back and forth about scary games and the indie games and stuff. So I put this one in, and I went, let me watch some folks that know about Freddy's. So I did that. I watched about an hour's worth of people talking about what they know about Freddy's. And apparently there's a ton of lore, man.
Yes, there
A
is.
ton of lore.
Yes.
There are like, 9 or 11 games, I think, already for this freaking series. Not to mention books written by, of course, Scott, something or rather, the author of them all and whatnot. This game, of course, was developed by Stillwell Studios, and it comes out June 13th. And you'll get to play it on your PlayStation 5 and later on PlayStation VR 2. It's just another reason why I picked it was because, I'm like, well, I got to support the PSVR 2 because I love it and I own it and I want it to succeed. But yeah, this one's apparently like a prequel. It's based like in the 1979. One of the ingenious scientists is working for the Fazbear folks, whatever, Fazbear, the studio that's behind all these crazy animatronics. And they're like, hey, we need you to develop something for us. So he, in this big giant, manufacturing area, seemingly does so, but then disappears. So they send in the strike squad to get their property back. Well, that strike squad doesn't come back. They send in another one. It doesn't come back, Matt. 2 strike squads don't come back from this factory where this dude went missing, who is building a super secret animatronic thing for the Fazbear company to do all their cool little Chuck E. Cheese stuff. So they send in you, this mystery person. And apparently there's some lore behind like this AI technology that you're going to have with you. I'm not going to get all up into it, but apparently it's like a big deal from some of the other storylines, and it's coming into here. And all the squeezes, he was developing this really cool exoskeleton that can then manipulate itself into any costume or any animatronic animal, creature, etc., to then, of course, do all sorts of fun show things and whatever. Then the story goes even deeper, Matt. Apparently, this animatronic thing was originally a friend of the scientist's son, who then tragically died later, but then the animatronic endoskeleton was acting really weird, so the scientist then beat it, and then it learned how to do violence, and then all of a sudden, the scientist himself went missing, so we're assuming it probably killed him, and now it knows how to like kill people and go crazy, and it's doing all sorts of weird stuff, and now you get to go in there and try to retrieve it because that's your job. And you, not officially, mind you, because this is all theories from all these crazy people who apparently are in this huge network of this storyline, say you're going to use this AI technology from some previous stuff to then further the storyline of getting this endoskeleton thing that you're supposed to be in there for. Anyways, it's a first-person game. And if you don't know, Freddy got fingered, man.
That's not it.
No,
that's not it.
It's not it. Five Nights at Freddy's, all these animatronic Chuck E. Cheese like type things, they're all there. And they get wills of their own, so to speak, and they murder you. And you got to try to avoid, of course, being murdered. This is much the same. You're going to be there, but this exoskeleton can take the shape of any of these creatures or things it wants to. And you got to try to, of course, capture it and get it out of there without being killed. And it's super scary and super freaky and super cool. And after watching, some of the trailers, and of course we had talked about it briefly back when the first trailer was announced way back when, it does look pretty damn good. Pretty damn good. I was very impressed. So if it's something that sounds cool to you, getting on some first-person action, going to this really dilapidated old warehouse with all these crazy puppet animatronic creatures and a thing that's possessing them trying to murder you, if this sounds exciting and fun, I'd recommend Five Nights at Freddy's, The Secret of the Mimic, because it's going to get you in on all that good stuff. And like I said, apparently there's an entire storyline and lore behind all this, which I had no idea about. It was kind of cool to actually dive in and learn a little bit about it.
And that's the one thing I do know about the Five Nights at Freddy's stuff is the, what is the channel, Game Theory? They did ones on like every single one as they were coming out, like way back in the day. And the lore was there from day one. So it's a pretty deep, I mean, you think it's just a jump scare game. Look at the things, close to things. But yeah, there's tons of lore, weird storylines, all kinds of crazy ghosts and like AI things and shapeshifters and whatever's. It's one of those things that I kind of want to get into, but I kind of don't because now there have been too many games and it's
it's too many.
It's also kind of played out and I don't know, but I wish I'd been there from the beginning. But I might be there in the beginning for my release this week. And I don't know how I want to talk about this. because there's no person you can talk to with a neutral review about MindsEye, because MindsEye is out. I had no idea it was coming out. This came out on the 10th of June, developed by Build a Rocket Boy, published by IO Interactive for PC, PlayStation 5, and the Xbox Series consoles. This is that game, that linear cinematic action game that we saw shown off in a state of play, like a couple state of plays ago or something.
Mm-hmm.
And we looked at it and we went, I don't know if it'll turn out good, but that looks like a Matt game. And I said, yeah, it does. And it still flipping does. And I've been trying.
I was gonna say, man.
I searched on YouTube, MindsEye review, and all I saw were people with red text and yellow text and a big arrow and a frowny face. And that's all it's been. That's all it's been. I tried to find the most neutral looking review because I don't watch things that say, this game's trash. I just don't watch that. I have no room in my life for that. So I found one that seemed pretty neutral. And so I've been trying to find the neutral ones. But now since I've done that, it goes, oh, he likes red text YouTube videos. They're all in my recommends now. I can't deal with it. But I'm watching this game. Okay, so this game, you play as a former soldier. You go on, do a soldierly thing, and then you wake up with no recollection of why you have this MindsEye weird little technology implant in you. And you go and find out the company that's behind it, and you're trying to figure out what's going on. That's the story of the game. You're in this, what is it, Red Rock City? You're like out in the desert. It's kind of like an analog to Las Vegas. You're driving, you're shooting, you're investigating. It's kind of what this game is. And it's a linear, cinematic action game. That's what I remember from that state of play whenever we talked about it. If you listen to any review on here, everybody seems to think this is a GTA game. Or they go, yeah, I know it's a linear action game, and I love those, but it really sucks that you can't, like, steal cars and run around and shoot things and the cops don't come get you, and you can't just, like, do whatever you want. Every review is exactly like that. Or people will say, the graphics are really nice, and then the very next guy will go, the graphics look like absolute garbage. One person will say, the story is actually really engaging, and the cutscenes are well directed, and the graphics in the cutscenes are out of this world. And someone will go, cutscene's stupid. That's so dumb. Some will say, hey, the shooting's pretty good. Others will say, it's the worst shooting I've ever seen. Some will say the driving's pretty fun. Others will say, it's the worst driving we've ever seen. And that's it. That's the whole gamut of reviews on this. And I watch it. I see some gameplay. I go, that looks pretty good. Doesn't look like AAA, awesome, the best game ever, the most exciting action-y game. But we've all played games that are just pretty good. That's what this looks like to me. And it looks like that kind of Matt game, because I will say the thing that excites me most is, A, the graphics. It looks really nice. I've heard it only runs at about 30 frames per second, so not the best, but I think the graphics look really nice, and the cutscenes are the most positive thing I've heard about. Really good graphics on the cutscenes, facial capture, good direction of the cutscenes when I've seen some, and I'm not trying to spoil it for myself a lot, but it looks different. It looks different than other things. It doesn't look like a standard Call of Duty. Oh, here's a cutscene where it's just shot, reverse shot. I don't know. This looks interesting to me to some degree. And I've heard there are some bugs, but then there are people who don't mention bugs ever and then say it's just a broken mess. So I don't know what to believe. I don't have any idea what to believe on this game. Everybody says it's awful, but they're never consistent as to why. So I don't know. It's out. It's out. It's not a GTA game. It's not an open world game. Everybody who says, yeah, I wasn't expecting it to be an open world game, every review criticizes the fact that it's not an open world game anyway. So, gee, Eric, should I knock God of War 2018 because you can't go climb every tree in that game? I don't know. That seems weird to me. Everything about this game seems weird to me, but it also seems like a Matt game. I like driving. I like shooting. I like a storyline that has interesting characters doing interesting things in an interesting cutscene. I don't know. I feel like I want to get this. Not to be a bit. This isn't the bit. Like, Matt loves horrible games. Matt loves games that are good. You can't call this the worst game ever because I've seen it and it functions. Other than some bugs people report, but they never show off. So I don't understand. I don't understand. I know you got to say something though.
I was going to say something. This one is ringing bells for me. I feel like there's a lot of back end political drama or whatever going on because nothing was really said about this game. And then all of a sudden, all the pundits, all the usual streamers, podcasters are out there going, not a joke. Whoa, this game is so bad. Blah, blah. And just like with the news you hear, it's all the same talking points and all the same stuff. And I'm like, it's like they all got this same narrative that they were given and they spun it up in whatever, character they play on their podcast and or streaming, thing. So I don't know, man. It just goes back to my putting on my little tinfoil hat. And I feel like behind the scenes, if you don't pay a price or do something or play nice with something, you get tossed into the bucket of hatred. And no matter if your game's decent or not, you get trashed. Like, I feel like Randy Pitcher, like we said it before, I feel like Randy Pitcher's there. I feel like something happened. He didn't pay the bucket price a long time ago, or he pissed off whatever god or matriarch or patriarch that all these streamers, podcasters obey. And it's just, you pay the price. I feel like this director and or studio is in that camp. Because the game, just like you said, looks serviceable, seems functional. Doesn't look like it's a AAA game. It looks like it's a AA game. But I haven't seen anything that makes it look like trash. And it's being completely expressed as trash.
And I wasn't really going to say it, but those are the exact feelings that I have. Like, everybody shows off the game and it all looks functional and fine. And functional and fine is fine. There's a reason that review scales are 1 to 10.
Mm-hmm.
And people are saying, oh, it's a 3 though. But you don't show me any 3 material. Like, what happened in the back
You're
end?
showing me 6.5 material.
Yeah, you're showing me 6s, maybe like a high 7 if you like it, maybe like a 5.5 if you don't. I definitely get that vibe too. Like, something, why is there a narrative to destroy this game?
Mm-hmm.
Because people say, worst game of 2025 so far. It's very strange to me. Obviously, I've gone through it 4 years rolling now with Suicide Squad and Forspoken and Saints Row and probably something else some other damn year that I've forgotten about. But I don't know. It's out. If you have any interest in it, like I do, go check it out. I was just watching right before the show some just MindsEye gameplay, no commentary. I think it looks good. I'm going to check it out. I might not get it like right away, but maybe this is one of those games, just like Alone in the Dark. That's why I was smiling when you were talking about it. I feel like I got to do it, but I don't know. Make up your own decision. Obviously, watch any reviews you want. Listen to any reviews you want. For sake, I was reading a PC Gamer review, and they said I stopped playing it after 2 hours. But I think the story, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what the story is going to turn into. Of course you don't. You stopped playing it
because you played the intro.
Why are you reviewing it then? You can't review it.
You don't even get to have a voice.
Yeah.
You need to just walk away.
So yeah, I don't know. I'm just rambling at this point. It's over. MindsEye's out. It's probably over for it, but it's not going to be over for me. I'm going to be the champion of games that you don't understand are good. That's me. That's my role here, damn it.
That's right. There you go. I've done a couple of them. I can't think of the 1 or 2 I've been in with, but I've been there too. I've been there.
It's called the medium, Eric. It's called the medium.
Yes, that's right. It's called the medium. Yeah, damn it. I'll champion it forever. Sons of bitches. But anyways, we've both been on one thing, and that's the Switch 2. We both got our hands on it last week, and apparently Nintendo's doing some crazy stuff because you couldn't get that game. You couldn't get that. I mean, you couldn't get that system. They did that one wave. It was sold out within minutes, and it was over, and everything was gone. And then it came out, and I told the story how I had the one left at Meijer. And then, of course, all of a sudden, I'm hearing the same story everywhere. Oh, I actually went to my local Kabooble store, and it was this there, and it was this there, and it was this there. And then all of a sudden, a second wave hit all the retailers. So, Best Buy got a full restock. So they were just saving them. They did instead of Sony doing like 4 waves of online sales, and then they were just gone. They were literally none for stores. Nintendo went, no, we're going to do 1 online, and then we're shipping the rest all to the stores and, a couple waves and see what people do. I don't know which one works better, but I'll say I'm happy because I got one.
I feel like if you are an old school thinker about shopping, you'd like the Nintendo way better because, okay, if it's online and I miss it in a week, I'll be able to grab up a whole bunch of them. I was just listening to a podcast from a guy, he's out on the West Coast somewhere, probably in LA, but he was saying, yeah, I went to my Best Buy and there were like 200 people lined up around the block trying to get it. But then there was also another 200 person line that I got in because that was the pre-order line. So they must have like brick and mortar stores in big cities, probably just bombarded them with stock with pre-order options. And then, like you said, kind of shorted the online sales compared to how it's been. But if you miss that, you have a chance to actually pick one up.
You had a good chance in the stores. And then, like we were talking about last week, you go to a little town's local store, well, you're pretty much guaranteed because, there's just only so many people there. So from what I can tell, as I said, the Discord's knowable. If you want one, you can find a store probably around you that has some in there. I did see my Meijer restocked like 4 more the other day.
Nice.
They were sold out that same day, but they got 4 more. So it's happening. If you want one, just get out there, make some phone calls. The stores around you got them. But either way, me and Matt both got to play some of the Switch 2. Matt, what'd you think overall? We won't go into crazy detail or anything, but what do you think?
No, I knew this was coming up, but I didn't do any due diligence. Like I said, the one thing I've been playing is a Switch 1 game on my Switch 2, so I can't talk about like Mario Kart World or graphics or performance or anything. But I will say the saving grace right now, because 100 Line is a mostly visual novel style game, I play it with 2 Joy-Cons. I don't plug those into nothing. That's how I play those games. And I literally just told you I played 15 hours over the past 4 days. My hands feel totally fine. After the very first play session of 5 hours on the Switch 1, my hands would have been flipping, killing me, even with the grips that I got for those. So I don't know. It's not a big difference. It's weird because I haven't picked up a Switch 1 Joy-Con in a while. But to my nostalgic hands, these don't feel any different. But they fixed it. A little bit of length, a little bit of width. I don't know what it is. They fixed it. My hands aren't cramping. It feels good. And it runs great. I like the little dock. I like it. I played. Oh, that's the other thing I will say. The first day, I didn't want to hook up the dock and do all the stuff. So I played it here in table mode on the desk. Joy-Cons loose, but with the thing tabled up. The kickstand's great. And those speakers are loud as flip.
Mm-hmm.
Like I had it at half volume and I had to turn it down sitting in front of it. They were loud. So they did a great job with all the things they said they improved on my end. I like it so far. I like it.
Yeah, I've only played Mario Kart World on this. And first off, real quick, Mario Kart World, a ton of fun. I'm having a blast with it. But admittedly, I've only touched the surface. I've been playing the Grand Prix. I haven't touched the open world stuff. I haven't touched the knockout tour, whatever it's called. I haven't done anything. Just the Grand Prix. Just been trying to get the golds in there so I can unlock the. I'm assuming, like all Mario Karts, it has the backwards tracks and everything. I don't even know if that's true or not, but I'm trying to get golds and everything and hopefully unlock that. Playing at 150 cc's, which is the current max. I have heard that we're going to get 200. I don't know when that's coming, but I can't wait for that. With that being said, I'm sort of in the same boat, man. Holding it in my hand. I haven't played it docked. I've only played it as a handheld, and that screen, perfect. Perfect. They did it. That screen is now just large enough to where I don't feel like I'm playing on a handheld and it's pissing me off. I don't feel like I'm squinting or can't see what I need to see or want to see. So I'm in that beautiful mode where when I'm playing, I'm enjoying it like I enjoy any other game on my monitors. So, perfect. Perfect size monitor, and the display is colorful. It's wonderful. I have no issues with it whatsoever. As you also pointed out, the sound, it's louder than hell if you want it to be, which is also perfect for me because I love to be able to hear my games. And so being able to play that and have it just cranked up and just popping right in my ear like anything else would be if I have my headphones on. Once again, perfection. The buttons are bigger, just slightly bigger. The joysticks are a little bit bigger. However, it just still wasn't quite enough. It's better than the Switch, 100%. But after about 3 hours, my hands are cramping and I'm feeling really, craptacular, and I have to put the thing down. So I haven't got to the point, and that's probably just because I'm not used to having a handheld or holding one anymore, because it's been years since I've religiously played since DS original, that I've played handheld for more than any small amount of time. But even so, not quite big enough to where my big gumbo hands are comfortable for an entire session of me just happily playing. After a while, they start to hurt, and then I'm putting one arm down and stretching it out, then putting the other hand down and stretching it out in between the matches. And then after, like I said, about 3 hours tops, I'm like, okay, I can't play anymore. It hurts too much. I got to put it down. But overall, very happy with it. I can't wait to test the game chat stuff and then get the camera and get my little head above my stuff and, play with that a little bit. But we're just not there yet. Like I told you, it's been a busy week, family over and everything. So overall, very impressed. Can't wait to see some high performance games. I've been tempted to get the Cyberpunk games.
Yep, me too.
Just to see what it is and how good it is on this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm debating it. We'll see where I go with it. But yeah, very cool. Can't wait to play with it some more.
And last little thing. This doesn't mean anything, but the little magnetic detacher button on the Joy-Cons, I can't stop fiddling with it while I'm playing 100 Line and going through some stuff. I'm holding a Joy-Con up and just going tick, 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 tick. it's fun and it's satisfying. I don't know. It doesn't even make a sound, but I'm just a fiddle man. I gotta fiddle with that. I love it. And that's on both sides. So when this side's sick of fiddling, fiddle, 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 fiddle. Put it on your head and get yourself a little poke in your head. It's great. It's good.
Yeah, I keep going, is there a double trigger? Is this a double trigger? It's not a double trigger, stupid. It's the magnetic buttons. Leave them alone because you're going to detach your damn Joy-Cons. Don't touch them.
That's right. So a good time with a Switch 2 time, a good time with video game releases. But hey, we didn't leave you out there, folks, who are hankering, who are itching and aching for some free games. We got free games for you this week. Don't have a Switch 2? Don't have all these other things that it's on? Fine. Go to Steam right now. You can get Paradox Soul absolutely for free. That is like a low poly shooter Metroidvania / horror game. I can't tell if it's creepy or not. Then you can get What the Pack, which is a big cartoon little monsters things running around, apparently doing mini games. 2 free Steam games. Go get them right now. Steam free discounts usually don't last very long, so go grab them up if you're hearing this.
Indeed, you can do that. Or you got this week to go over to Epic and get 2 Point Hospital. You wanted to be a doctor, you wanted to operate, you wanted to do all sorts of cool stuff in a doctor / hospital environment. This game's for you, and it's free this week on Epic. So go do that and get the scalpel on somebody's head and cut it open.
You want to talk about cutting it open. I'm like that really horrifying Super Mario World 2 Yoshi's Island. Is that the commercial where like the kid just kept eating and eating and eating, and then he exploded all over at the end of the commercial, and it was like, Yoshi. He eats things. You remember that?
Maybe. I don't remember that one.
Oh, I remember that commercial because it was disgusting. But that's me with games to talk about for Game Pass this week. Because you got Splitgate 2, which I didn't even know was actually even out yet, but it's right there on the Game Pass. You got the Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4 demo. I think it's the Foundry level. You get a demo for that. You get Warhammer 40K Space Marine, like Super Mega Blaster Edition, Mr. Big Man Edition for that. You got Kingdom 2 Crowns. You got EA Sports FC 25, so if you want to be kicking and schmicking some soccer balls around or some football balls around. And then you got the ultimate. You got the biggest game ever in the history of the world, Barbie Project Friendship. Get the on it. Get it.
That sounds fun. Yeah, Matt, remember Splitgate 2? He came out and he's like, we love Splitgate, and we're just a group of people who want to play games. So we made Splitgate 2. It rules, and it's out today. Go play. And then he walked off the stage, and he was like, whoa.
I missed the out today part. I was just like, yeah, this guy's all right. Cool. And I looked down to write something down, and I missed the out today. So, hey, it's a good thing Game Pass has it.
There you go.
Now I know for sure.
So it is indeed there. And, of course, last but not least, Amazon Free Games has a couple for you, station to station. I don't know what this is, but it sounds like you're going to do some railroad stuff. That's what I'm assuming. Some railroad action, getting station to station, making it happen. If you like trains, go check this game out. And last but not least, you got Death Squared. I feel like I should know what this game is. It sounds familiar, but I don't know what it is. So if you like to square out death and do a little mathematics behind the scenes, when you're dying, maybe that's what this is all about. It's like if you don't do enough algebra before the time's up, you die. Maybe that's what it's all about. I don't know.
I was actually looking it up, so I missed the part where you were saying station to station, and you said station, then you said station again. And in my head, it was too late to do it. I went, station!
Station!
Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. Station to station. You smash the 2 stations together, he becomes Big Station. He makes good robot us's in the van on the way to the Battle of the Bands. I got it in after all. I did it.
You did it. And it's good that you did it because it's a ton of fun. And you can have a ton of fun, too, by getting all them damn free games. I'm telling you, we say it to you every week. Don't miss out on this stuff because if the apocalypse happens, you're going to wish you'd done it and got all these free games to keep you sustained for all the years to come while your friends die of nuclear poisoning, etc., etc., etc.
Because you'll never be able to see, if that does happen, you'll never be able to see another 3 entire pages of games from all the goddamn showcases. Summer Games Fest and Friends is what I wrote on the show notes. Summer Games Fest, Day of the Devs, Xbox Showcase, Obsidian Showcase, Friendly Games Showcase, Happy Games Showcase, Latino Games Showcase, Snuggles Games Showcase, Under a Bridge Game Showcase, Down by the Drive-In Movie Game Showcase. A million game showcases. I said it to Eric, I do mean it, but I don't really mean it right now. I feel like I'm kind of getting into a funk again because of that depressing thing that I'm playing through right now. But there's too many game showcases. There's too many, and they're all too long. And it makes me sad because I want to watch all of these. I wish they were spread out over 4 weeks. But instead, every 2 days, there's 3 more hours of stuff to watch. And in between those, there's 4 more hours of stuff that you forgot about. So it's too much. Like Summer Games Fest season needs to start in May and end in July. Like there's got to be one big one a week and like 2 little ones in that week. Because I just went through a million. I've already forgotten the games that I talked about last week that were so cool, because now they've been overshadowed by more games that are so cool. And then I'm going to hear about another cool game so cool, I'm going to forget everything. But anyway, that's Matt's complaining. Summer Game Fest, what do you got?
Well, I'll tell you this, Matt. Overall, just as a showcase, this showcase for me didn't really hit too hard. Some good stuff, which I'll mention. But at the end of the day, I kind of went, well, all right. Noops on a dupes. I guess we're just moving and marching along. So just wanted to get that out there. I wasn't too stoked about this particular showcase. I think last year's was much more fun for me anyway. Just probably stuff that, more catered to what I want to play. But with that being said, the number one here, Matt, is ill. And it's what Matt made fun of me this morning for. Gloopity gloppity, blah, human bad, blah, blah, monsters. Yes, this game is that. It's the Munfish Powerhouse, Team Clout. They put this one together. Comes out, I think it said later this year. I wasn't really sure on that one, but I think so. Not 100% on that. However, it's a first-person shooter game, and you're in some really cool, badass environments that are just super dark, super dank, super nasty, and you're going up against these humanoid, nasty creatures doing all the chomps and the bloods and the goops and the guts, and you're getting all these cool traditional weapons to combat said baddies. And what really struck me was just the way that these creatures were moving and acting. It was just nasty, and it was realistic, and some of them were actually picking up weapons and throwing items at you and doing stuff, but then you could shoot their arm and just boom, arm blast off. That pipe they had that they were going to hit you with, gone. Oh no, one's running fast. Boom, shoot him in the leg. He falls over realistically because now his leg's just been shot out from underneath him. And then just these weird, strange ones you wouldn't even expect, like this giant head that comes out of a hallway. And you're like, what is happening? And then all of a sudden, this freakazoid mech'd out dude comes and shoots one of the baddies, but it looks like he's about to shoot you too. But it cuts off, and you're like, well, was he my friend or not my friend? Am I going against goopers and people? I don't know. It was a super mystery, super nasty, super dark, right up my alley. I can't wait to play this game, man. Ill is looking pretty solid.
I knew you would say that one. I'm going to go to an indie game. So you probably don't even remember that this game exists because it had pixels.
I don't.
It's just a pixel game.
I don't.
Now, I never was into Shovel Knight. It's been too long now. I always talk about trying to get back into that. But their new game, Mina the Hollower, goes from like Shovel Knight graphics to like almost Game Boy original, like Link's Awakening style graphics. It looks like a Zelda game, but with more hopping and shooting and jumping. Yacht Club Games makes awesome games. Obviously, everybody loves Shovel Knight and all the expansions and releases to that. So this is one I hopefully will be able to get in on the ground floor of, because I know they make good stuff. This looks like a fun, easygoing romp, but I'm sure it's going to be tough and rough. And they were fighting big bosses in that game too. So I'm interested in that one. We're going to go from Eric's thing to Matt's thing. That's how we're doing it.
That's how we do. And then, of course, sticking with Munfish, they've got Atomic Heart 2 coming. And this is peculiar because I wanted to play Atomic Heart.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about it a long time ago when the game first came out. It did not happen, folks. I really did want to play it. It just wasn't in the cards, didn't happen. And then I saw this trailer for 2, and oh my God, you want to talk about weird, you want to talk about funky, you want to talk about sexy, you want to talk about all that. Atomic Heart 2 is taking it to the 9s with it. And I was already impressed and wanted to play the first one. So this one just looked even crazier and cooler and sexier and badasser, whatever you want to call it. And if you don't know, it's a first-person shooter again. Oh, gee, another first-person shooter. But it's just based on these crazy, wonky mechanics and worlds with these strange, mutated people, robot AI stuff going on, mad scientists, bad people, good people. Whack job world, just completely out of sorts and crazy. And even the people that seem to be good seem to be completely insane or halfway insane. So you know this is just a funky world that's all jacked up. And I don't know, those games to me are always a lot of fun. Rage 2, we played the hell out of that back in the day, etc. I love that stuff. So this was right up my alley and really motivated me to definitely, I feel like I got to have Atomic Heart somewhere for free at this point on one of these platforms. So I'm going to go take a look after the show tonight, and I'm going to at least go ahead and give that game a solid go because right now I'm playing through like 10 games, but nothing's like, I have to play this game and I'm focused. So right now, this is the time for me to check it out. So yes, Atomic Heart 2 coming out, God knows when. I don't remember what it said. Probably 2026 if I had to guess, but I don't know. So looking forward to that one.
It's funny that you mentioned Rage 2 because that was the first thing I thought of when I saw it. Because I wanted to play the original also, but my impression was, even though I know it had humor in it, that it was a pretty serious game. Like you're a growly man shooting a gun, doing the thing in like Russian Fallout world. And then they show this one where you're like on a parachute, you're gliding around, you're jumping around. There's a little bit of bright colors here and there. There's silly, there's fun, there's sexy, there's hoo hoo hoo. And I was like, this is 100% Rage 2 after Rage 1. They just took the silly and ramped it up. So I was 100% on board with you. It's written down here for me also, but I still have never played Atomic Heart 1. I'm going to give you a 2-pack Matt special. Out of Words, that co-op claymation platformer where you're two characters who can't speak and then everyone else. But it was so claymation-y. It looked like almost nothing else. It looked really cool. Had an It Takes Two vibe to it, but that claymation style, oof, goodness gracious. And then speaking of a unique visual style, Felt That Boxing, the puppet punch-out game. Like, nothing else has ever looked like that. And now, when it showed the actual gameplay, it did kind of look like those old FMV boxing games, especially when he was knocking the guy back and forth in the actual fight. But everybody knows I appreciate unique things, unique visual styles, sound styles, the gameplay styles. I want to play something that looks like this, because I've never played anything that looks like that before. So there's 2 unique visual style games from me. Smaller games, obviously. Go check those out.
And while you're doing that, of course, I was going to bring it up. Sonic Racing Crossworlds is coming later this year, and I was excited for it just on principle. I love a good kart game, and Sonic's pretty cool too. But since it was Crossworlds, I went, ooh, this has possibilities. And this trailer did not disappoint. You're getting like a Dragon's Ichiban Kasuga in this game. You're also getting, of course, Persona 5's Joker. And Steve from Minecraft's also in this game. And many more, they said, from franchises you may expect and franchises you may not expect. And that also holds the promise that maybe not only will we see Joker, but we'll see some other characters from Persona 5 or 4 or 3 or 2 or 1. Who the hell knows? The possibilities are endless. And it's a kart racing game, which is always a ton of fun. So I was sold. I was already sold, but now I'm super sold because I get my boys and girls all coming into this one as kart racers in a really fun, just vibrant kart racing game, which from what I hear, because I don't know much about, has a lot of different mechanics from Mario Kart. So it's not just racing as you normally do. There's some other stuff going on. I don't know what that stuff is, but I'm interested to find out, and I'll definitely be playing it.
And one that we knew about, like I feel like we've known about this for a long time, but they shadow dropped it here, and I still haven't played it yet. Lies of P Overture, the prequel DLC to Lies of P. I was kind of hifsy-hafsy on it, like, oh, it's a prequel, I don't know, blah, blah, blah. But then I saw this trailer and this release drop, and I started licking my lips. Like, I want to dodge things, and I want to parry things, and I want to do a big, heavy attack. Ah, man. Oh, baby. I just want to do it. It looks so good. I've heard people saying already that it's flipping awesome and they love it. But then I'm also going to mention a game called Mixtape, which is that reminiscing back on your last day with your friends in high school. And it's got that kind of like herky-jerky, almost animation style, made by the people who did The Artful Escape, which I loved a few years ago when I played that. This was the one they were talking about, all the different licensed tracks that they got, all the different bands from back in those days. And it just looked like a nostalgic blast from the past. I know we've talked about it before, but this looked even better. And then hearing the licensed music going in there, can't wait to play that one too.
And I'll give you a twofer. This is the last 2 for me on this particular setup that I liked and enjoyed and will probably play. And they're both Capcom titles, which is why I'm going to lump them together. It's Onimusha Way of the Sword. We got another trailer for it, and it was cool. Showcased some more combat, showcased another baddie that's going to come in here and come into play in the whole thing. What can I say? I loved Onimusha back in the day. It looks just as solid and really cool now. Definitely has that cool parry dodge mechanic stuff going on with the combat. And I love the banter too. The banter between, the different characters and just you talking to these belligerent baddies and stuff. I really liked, and I really hope to see a whole bunch more of while I'm playing said game. Can't wait to see how the different abilities and whatnot from you consuming the souls all takes place. But this last trailer, a lot of fun, really cool. And last but not least, the big one, Matt. The big last, oh, goodness gracious. We get Resident Evil 9. It's Requiem was the title of that one. And it is not Leon. Everybody was suspecting it was Leon, but in fact, it's not. It's a new character. It's the daughter of a character from a previous Resident Evil title who apparently is dead, got murdered in some vicious, nasty way. You're an FBI agent who is like super smart and super weird and eclectic, but apparently not anyone who's involved in combat. So this is going to be a different spin because you get sent to this place in Raccoon City. So you're going back to some nostalgic stuff. But something happens. Next thing you know, the game opens up with you upside down on a table in a bad way, and you got to get out. So you get out, and apparently in this house, because of course there was a preview, they didn't showcase that the whole thing, but I get a little bit more because I watched the preview later. So I'll just say it's got a persistent baddie in it, and it's a really freaky baddie, not like Mr. X and them are freaky, but like normal freaky. This is like the Village freaky when you're going up against the dollhouse stuff and everything else. So I can't wait to see how it plays out. And like I said, since you are not a combatant, you fight in a whole different way. So I'm interested to see how that mechanic works out, or whether that's just a complete farce and you end up becoming a normal, guns in hand, handling business just like you would in any other Resident Evil. But for now, it's a mystery, and I'm looking forward to it.
Now I'll give you a 2-pack also, and then I'll round it out with my last one. I don't have a ton to say about any of these, but they did get me excited. One is Marvel Cosmic Invasion, the retro 2D beat 'em up. The thing I liked about this one, I mean, we've seen it before. They showed off more new characters, but they mentioned that specifically you pick 2 characters that you get to swap between at any time. So, hey, I'm the ground guy, and here's all the air enemies. Oh, that sucks. That sucks in every beat 'em up game. Oh, swap to your air person. Now you're flying around hitting the air enemies. Cool. Another one, Scott Pilgrim EX. Love the first Scott Pilgrim Save the World game. And I was watching it because I did not see a trailer for this. I knew it existed. I went back and watched it here, and I was waiting for it, and they did it. The game is by this guy. Okay. Written by this dude. Okay. Developed by this person. Whatever. Where are they? Anna Monoguchi is back to do the soundtrack. The most critical part of any Scott Pilgrim game, if you ask me. So excited for that one too. And then Project Century, which became Stranger Than Heaven. That's the RGG studio game. Now it's in 1943. They didn't show off a lot of it. It didn't look like a ton better than it did before, but it did look better. And then they had like that little cutscene at the end with the 2 dudes and the camera work of the cutscene. And I went, okay, this is an RGG game, because the first trailer from however many months ago, it was just wonkety and jankety. This still had a little bit of wonk in it. It was like bloody and sploshy and gloopy, but it looked more like a proper RGG game. So I'm more excited for it now. Can't wait to see more of that. Man, what else do we want to go into, Eric? There's showcases. What do you want to talk about? Let's talk about it.
We're already at the hour marker. There's like a whole other main showcase, not to mention God knows what you went and found on all your other showcases. So it becomes a critical moment. Do we just keep going and keep rocking it out? Xbox games, showcase here? And
straight into the Xbox showcase. I'm transitioning right now. First of all, things we knew about Outer Worlds 2. Gonna 100% get that. One I had no idea about, High on Life 2. I can't wait to play that again. But will it be the same? If Justin Roiland's not there, will the humor be the same? I don't know, but the trailer got me excited. Last one I'll mention right now. There are no ghosts at the Grand. That's that Southern, you're like renovating this old town, but you're also doing like a heist, and there's weird magical elements to it, like putting crests on walls, and then they're opening up doors. And then it also looks like there's a musical element too. Like a literal musical, because people are talking and like you're kind of seeing time pass and they're telling you the story of the town. Oh, baby, it's everything I love. Put it all in that, shoot it right in my veins, put it in my eyeballs, put it in my ear holes. I think this has been mentioned before, but I never saw any of this stuff in it before. It looks great.
And I will, of course, be as fast as well here, folks. All right, Xbox game showcase for me was really good, was very impressed, had a lot of fun times with it. Persona 4 remake is real. You're getting Persona 4 Revival. What a quick hit. Really disappointing that it was so short, but still very happy to see it coming. I cannot wait to play this game, and they promise that there's going to be some changes and et ceteras and extras and goodness knows what. So I'm excited because not only do I get to play this game again, but I get to play it with all sorts of possibilities.
Now, I do have to jump in and interrupt, because as much as I don't like a chibi art style, as much as I don't like a bobblehead person, That's not what my Persona 4 protagonist looks like. Everybody else is going to look weird too. Oh my goodness. In my brain, my disassociating brain is going like, who's that? That's not me. That's me.
Weird.
That's some guy.
Yeah, definitely a different art style, but of course they're going to be giving it the big old Persona 5 treatment, and you're going to get all sorts of cool stuff happening. With that being said, Clockwork Revolution.
Mm-hmm.
This game looked badass. You want to talk like a BioShock vibe thing going on? This game had it in spades. I was very impressed. It was something that wasn't on my radar at all, but I will definitely be watching this. And I recommend you all go check this trailer out for sure. Clockwork Revolution. It's a whole thing, a couple minutes long. It's pretty big. So you get 5 minutes long.
Oh, yeah.
Actually.
Yeah.
So you get a huge in on this game, and I won't go into it, but just go check it out. And last, at this showcase, the big one for me was Chronos, The New Dawn. Got another trailer, and I'm eating this stuff up. Another gloopy, gloppy, scary game, third person, a lot like Dead Space. And that's, of course, where Bloober Team took a lot of inspiration from in this particular title. But they said they wanted to give it their own particular flair, their own style, their own gimmicks. And that's what you're getting here. And you get another trailer of you shooting some baddies, doing some time jumping stuff. And I'm all about it. And I'm very much for it. And it was really cool, too, in this trailer because you got to see another one of your time traveler Chronos buddies that was dead. But, of course, you're taking like the logs off them so you can get a better idea of what happened, why it happened. And that just sounds really cool to me, too, especially if they apply it like realistically, like, hey, I need your log because I don't know how this thing happened or what's going on or where this person ran off to. So if they can implement it more than just being a little lore dump and actually make it so it's part of you accomplishing the mission, that seems really cool. We'll see where it goes, but definitely exciting. Can't wait to see more from Bloober Team, which I want to say we did because today was a big drop, but I'll talk about it next week.
Okay. I was gonna give you two more quick hits because looking at this.
Oh yeah, go ahead. No, keep going, man. I don't care. Go.
I can't not. One that it didn't show off a lot, but it put me in mind of a different game, and I'll explain it in a sec. Aphelion. That's that game where you were like the lady space person, and like you're trying to get through all these crumbling things that are all falling apart around you. There is I think it was PlayStation 2 is where it started, a series called Disaster Report, where you're playing like a teenager, and it's usually in Japan, and there's a big earthquake. And like your whole job is just to live. It's not like a survival game, but it's like, here's a big set piece of this falling down. And you got to do a quick time event and get through here and climb down ropes and do all those other things. That's what this put me in mind of. Sci-Fi Disaster Report. Looked pretty awesome. And then the only other thing that I have to mention is the Xbox Ally X.
Looked good. Looked cool.
The only thing that it did make me sad was, and I shouldn't say sad because as soon as I say that, I go, that's dumb. You're an idiot. Is I wish it was like its own thing instead of kind of based off the ROG Ally, so it could be like its own thing. But they did the smart thing because ROG Ally has had one block, another revision. I think they're working on the Gen 2 now. Mm-hmm. So they're like, oh, also, here's all your hands-on experience with it. Help us make this even better. We'll help you make it even better. We'll both profit and we'll both make it better than it would normally been. So I am still excited for it, but the weird part of me is just like, I wish it was just an Xbox. It was a brand new thing. But then it could be glitchy and funky and wonky and whatever. But so I'm excited for it. I'm still very excited.
I was very impressed by it, and you can play GOG on it. They didn't state Epic, but everyone's claiming the Epic will be there. There probably just some kind of Epic didn't want its name attached or something at the time, or just didn't have time. Whatever the communication is. In a nutshell, this thing's going to play anything. Your Game Pass, obviously, all things are going to be playable on this device, and that got me stoked. I wish I could get this one, but there is no price announcement yet, but you're going to guess at $900 at least for sure for this bad boy. Because the previous one, the ROG Asus, I think is like $800 right now.
Well, I think that's like for the new vision, of
the newer one.
Yeah, I guess you're right because it's just going to get more.
It's going to be more powerful and it gets more stuff. It's going to be if you're lucky $800, but more likely $900, I'd guess.
Yeah, you're probably right. I was just thinking like I know the original was like in the $500 to $600 range, so yeah, it's probably just going to step up and up and up. But God damn it, you just made me sad, Eric. You made me sad again.
Well, that's why I'm sad, because I would love to have one. I'm just broke. I don't have the money for it. And I just, there's that point where you got to be realistic. And I've already spent $1 billion and all this other stuff. I'm like, I can't. I just can't. I wish I could because I would totally do it. But I have to look at it from afar and dream and wish I could touch it.
I hope it's I hope it's just $700, like $699.
Mm-hmm.
Even though Xbox, as much as I love it, is my tertiary system, I just want to get it. I want a handheld for every console. Obviously, Switch is its own handheld. I want Portal to be fully full on, and then have an Xbox One too, so I can just go anywhere. Oh man, am I hip deep in Claire Obscure on Game Pass? Well, snaps. Let me take my little zip up case and take it with me on the go and just play it wherever. Play it at work, on lunch. But I'm still excited. I just hope it's in that not too expensive range.
Still a really good device regardless. And the last quick hit I'll get you from me from this showcase was Ninja Gaiden 4. Got itself an October 21st release date. And it's Ninja Gaiden, I know, but said it wrong. Anywho's, can't wait for this. Me and Matt talked about this one before. Still a little scared because these games are known to be extremely difficult. That's what they're known for, to be insane and difficult and wild. But it looks so damn good, and I want to play it. So I'm feeling like I'm going to pull the trigger on this, which also helps force me to play the game, when I pull the trigger and feel like I have to now because, of course, I wasted the money on it. So October 21st, big date. Watched the two combatants, Ryu and the other guy, whatever, I forget his name, going to town with some baddies, having some interactions with one another, and then some outside forces coming in to, manipulate the situation. Very cool, very jazzy.
Absolutely. And the two things I'll mention, because this butted up right against the Obsidian showcase, where they mostly talked about Outer Worlds 2. Right at the beginning, the guy said it, and you can fight your way through this game. You can sneak your way through this game. You can talk your way through this game. I knew it would still be an option because they're not dumb. They know what makes Outer Worlds and Obsidian games good. But just to hear it right at the beginning, because that was the thing I loved most about Outer Worlds 1, is going into that final battle, and I didn't battle. I talk battled, and it was great. Amazing. And then the guy who was the director of sequels in that whole presentation, great job.
Yeah, that was a good job.
There's so many unfunny things that happen in these showcases, but that was just funny throughout. Great writing. Great job, everybody.
I loved his combat.
Yes.
That was good. It was a good bit. Had a lot of fun with it, yes. Outer Worlds 2 did a wonderful job. That's another one I would definitely recommend. If nothing else, you guys go watch that deep dive because it was just a ton of fun and really got me stoked for Outer Worlds 2. Made me want to go back and do Outer Worlds 1 because I've only watched Matt play occasionally when he was streaming it. So I don't have the full gist of it myself. So there you go. Very good stuff. Obsidian putting out some good work this year.
And I'll also say, and I'm not going to go into depth on it at all, but Day of the Devs had some really cool stuff in there. If you're more of an indie game bent, check some of those out. There were some really cool, totally different genres. I wrote down a couple of those. We'll talk about them in the Discord if you're a Day of the Devs person, because there was some really cool stuff in there. Different ways to interact with people in one of them, and a totally weird genre in the other. I don't know. There's any other showcases that you hit?
There was the Devolver Digital Showcase, Ball X Pit.
No, I missed it.
So yeah, check that out. The showcase itself, hilarious and fun. Game wasn't for me, but still, Devolver always puts on a good show, and they did so again this time around. But they focused on one game, which everybody said was crazy. They did it anyway. So if that's something up your alley, don't forget that one as well. There's more, but we got to end it. We got to end it here, folks. Maybe we'll do some back ends next week, depending on how busy we are and what's going on with the world of gaming next week. We'll see.
Now, we do have to end it here, but we can't end it without the most important segment in all of podcasting. That's Uncle Matt's Trivia Corner. The question from last week was, what is the name of the witch in Banjo-Kazooie responsible for the kidnapping of Banjo's sister Tootie? That, of course, is Gruntilda. Now, it's a new set of cards. Bang, bang, boom. Which side are we starting with? We're starting with this side right here. I didn't even look at it. Good luck, Eric. Which entry in the FIFA series was the first to include playable women's teams?
That would be FIFA 22.
Incorrect. It is FIFA.
Dang it, man. They got on women's rights too early.
Now, this is funny because I did actually know this answer because if anybody knows H Bomber Guy on YouTube, he's a guy who puts out like one video a year, but it's usually like a 2-3 hour video essay. He did one on plagiarism, like big examples of plagiarism from YouTube channels. And one of the first things he talks about is a guy who plagiarized somebody's FIFA 16 review, but he said the wrong phrasing for women's leagues. He said like women's leagues versus like there are women's teams. It's not the league. And that was an example of the plagiarism this guy did. So I'm like, I read this card right before we did the show, and I was like, holy shit, I know that because of this video essay I've watched like 3 different times. So crazy, so cool. What a coincidence. What a small world. But if you know the answer to that question, if you've watched that video essay, I'll give you a half point if you tell me that you watched H. Bomber Guy's video essay, because that's a great one. Send that to us.
I watched H. Bomber's essay.
You're a liar. I'm taking away. Don't lie to me. That's
no,
cheat.
No, that's
cheating.
a Howard. That's a Howard.
That's right.
But I said it with a smile. You know, I'm like,
that's where you get negative 2 points now.
No. God, dang it.
But if you know the answer to that question, if you have questions for us, if you want to talk about Day of the Devs, send anything or everything, questions, comments, concerns, mailbag questions, any kind of feedback, send that to the email, thirdshiftme@gmail.com, on the Twitter machine @ThirdShiftME. Find us on Facebook under Third Shift, hit the Discord, Patreon. If I'm streaming, hit up a stream. Hit us up in any kind of way, in the real world, in the fake world, in the online world. Just do it. We're doing it. Just do it. It's great.
Go do the things and head on over to Patreon. Give us a little bit of cash, Ola, from your wallet. It's a little tip jar, $1, $2, $3, $5, all the bucks, any bucks in the world, helps us out, pays bills, keeps the show going debt-free, and we really do appreciate the hell out of that. I can tell you that for sure. If you can't do that, though, you can head over to Twitch. You got Prime. Give Matt a little Prime bucks over there. Boop, 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 boop. Use it up. It ain't your bucks. It's Prime bucks. It's free to you. You can also go over to Spotify or Apple Podcasts. Give us a 5-star rating where we get bumped up in the metrics, and all of a sudden a couple extra people listen, and maybe a couple extra people like the show, and everything goes bing, bang, boom, boom, boom. You guys know how it works, and I encourage you to do the things. Thank you so much.
And thank you so much for listening to the very next episode, which will be dropping on around the 19th of June on iTunes and Stitcher, on Podbean, on Spotify, and on YouTube. And as I always say, hey, if you like what we're doing, like to help us out, please give us a like, a rating, a review, a comment, a subscription, any kind of good thing on any one of those good services, because it does help us out. We really do appreciate it. And hey, man, well, I give you my Prime sub. What do you give me? Like, I just gave you money, right? Like, what
do I get out of it?
I mean, huh? What do you mean it's free money?
Why would I do that?
Why would I do that to you?
Why would I give you that money?
Why would it be nice? I'm not using it for anybody else, but why should I give it to you? Huh?
That's like time out of my day, Matt.
Huh?
Time out of my day. I gotta go click the button. Goodness gracious. That's what we get, folks. If you don't know, that's real. That's the real deal. People do that. I'll tell you what. It's crazy. But I'm going to tell you this. Go on over and give us a 5-star review. A 5-star review. See, I serenaded you. That's good, right? That's a positive thing. That's not being mean or malicious or, intimidating in any way. So help us out. I'm doing what y'all asked me to do, but I don't see the fucking 5-star reviews coming. So this ain't working either, huh? Just saying.
I was just going to say, if you're going to be good cop, that means I got to be bad cop. I got to dredge up the hatred for the listeners that I don't have, because I love you guys so much and you're the best. Oh, but man, until next time, there's nothing else to say but. Don't forget to say.
Shut up and sit down.